And growing and becoming a woman and more mature, then you start to reflect on certain.
That's right, yo. She stated the man was telling a fib. You know what I mean? Now, not only did she say that, but she also expressed the fact that Earth's behavior has cheapened the Murder Inc. brand. I think that's a pretty strong statement to say. You know what I'm saying? I mean, look, it's crazy because you could spend years building something up, right? Then be super have like super reckless behavior, and then immediately cheapen the brand off of your reckless behavior. Speaking of which, you know what I'm saying? When you think about reckless behavior cheapening a brand, who comes to your mind? Who's the first thing that comes to your mind right now? That's right, Kanye West. You know what I'm saying? There's talk going around concerning whether Kanye planned this whole thing to get out of the bad deals that he was in, or did he just really fumble the bag? Now, I went to Kanye West's Instagram post yesterday, right? And he made a very interesting statement in the post. I mean, I think he posted a conversation that he was having with someone by the name of Tremaine or something like that.
Get out of the bad deals. Create your own narratives.
And I mean, I don't know if that was his pops or not, but I noticed a very curious statement, and it went something like this. What is it? Let me see if I can pull it up here. The statement said, it said, now there was a lot of things that was said on the statement, right? But one of the final statements that was made was the person said, it said dad 2022. It goes, white lives matter, ha ha ha, right? And Kanye says, ha ha, I thought that was so funny. What did you like about it? And then he said that the other person said that a black man was declaring the obvious, right? Then the next statement goes, I appreciate you, bro. And then the person says, all good, man. I think a beautiful move would be to take some of the proceeds from the White Lives Matter shirts and give in a meaningful way to our people, unlike the Black Lives Matter did.
Now, creating your own narrative, that means to raise questions where everybody else is going. Where the wide road is going, not the narrow road. When you create your own narratives, that means you make what's obvious known already. So everybody can remember and address it and move accordingly on how or how not to go.
And Kanye responds by saying, love this. And then Dad says, no one will see this coming. I found this to be very fascinating conversation between these two. Plus, the conversation that he had with the other person, Tremaine. Listen, man. It made me seriously consider the idea, right? That what if the White Lives Matter shirt was a means by which he could make a lot of money off of it and then pump it back into black causes and black communities? That would be quite a.
And not only the money to be pumped back into the community, but the awakeness and awareness that it'll bring. Like, you know, we all know and been raised in a certain environment to where when you look at going to school, we all know what they teach in school. And we all know what they're not teaching in school. We all know that Black Lives Matter. It's all out there blatant and it should matter. It's obvious. But he's stating what's not obvious, that the oppressed can say, hey, not only our lives matter, but our lives matter. What if it's almost saying like, okay, what color is your spirit? We have some white people who spirit was moving in such a way that said, Harriet Tubman, come over here and hide the slaves here and go through and y'all, this is a gateway to get where you're going. White lives matter.
Move. And technically, he couldn't really tell us that that's what he was doing because then the jig would be up. You see what I'm saying? It's at this point that I would have to consider. I mean, like when you weigh out the actions of a person, how do you determine whether they're really trying to help a group or they really don't care about a group? I guess you'd have to look.
It's their spirit. You can't look at their color and say they gonna move this way because we all know they're gonna be a certain color and they move in a way that not so expected. You know what I mean?
Get the combination of actions. You see what I'm saying? Look, I never loved the fact that a lot of these artists seem to wrap clothing lines around themselves from people that seem like they could care less about our community. You see what I'm saying? These artists,
they the ones who set the tone. They're the ones that's influencing the where people want to buy their brand because of them.
Seem to always represent all kinds of clothing brands and fashions and stuff like that don't seem to, you know what I mean? Kanye said he put $5 to $10 million into Balenciaga and they gave him $0 back. He's made statements such as they use us for our culture because it makes them. And
in court, by him putting that money into it, if he can so improve in the court of law, he can so improve, and he ain't get $0. There's some type of problem. What is the problem? Is it discrimination?
Money, but they never give back in return, which I don't doubt to be true. You know what I'm saying? I think we should all have the freedom to say what we want to say. But
What's
we have
the
to
problem?
know that with the idea that people that
like
fund
that?
us have the freedom to do what they want to do with what we say. Listen, Foot Locker has now joined the fray in trying to cancel Kanye West. Now, I said it in a comment yesterday. I'm going to say it again. When a person is canceled by a group, depending...
They get mad if he go deal with the Chinese directly. Won't they? Manufacturing. It goes hand in hand with distribution. If you got a high demand for something, you have to be able to produce it. What if you go to the Chinese?
Upon the group, the cancellation is going to look different, okay? If you're canceled by black culture, it's going to look one way. And if you're canceled by a culture that has the power over media and resources, you know what I'm saying? That cancellation is going to look very...
Which is who control the media and everything. The impersonators?
different than from what it would look like if black people did the cancellation. Are you catching my drift, man? Truly, we could say, oh, why didn't...
Catch my drift.
Adidas canceled him when he was making anti-black remarks.
Your avocado toast.
Yeah. When the only thing your 8-year-old will eat is waffles.
Remarks. The answer is, quite frankly, they just ain't want to. You know what I'm saying? Like, you do what you do with your money, and you do what you do with your business. And apparently, these businesses felt like, you know what I mean? Like like they didn't really need Kanye. Like Kanye thought they did. You see what I'm saying? Unless, of course, this is his grand plan all along. I don't know. I mean, a lot of people like to...
The grand plan is the narrative.
Well, I'm not going to say that. A lot of people like to ascribe all kinds of genius tactics and strategies and stuff like that to people that were not really even thinking that deeply about it. Although, you know, I think Kanye is a relatively deep thinker, but I mean, you can't be that deep and not know that if you disrespect. Like, he ain't had to do it at black people's expense. How about that? You know what I'm saying? Like, yeah, you don't got to do the thing.
Are black people expense or do black people need to catch up? Or keep following?
At black people's expense. All those little things that you did, you know what I mean, make me wonder. You know what I'm saying? Like it makes me think like he don't really got the love for the culture like that. You know what I'm saying?
Because he's not bending, folding, or scratching. Gotta keep bending over, huh?
I don't know. It's just weird coming from the person that said George Bush doesn't like black people, and then he did all the things that he did. Because then it's just like, well, how do you expect us to look at you, bro? You know what I'm saying?
Well, it's the corporations versus the P's. Who you want to be in charge? Entrepreneurs, you got your own business, corporation, whatever. Then you'll be a step closer to what the Moors put before. Shout out to the noble Drew Ali.
Let me do my shout outs real quick, man. You know what I'm saying? You probably wondering, yo, man, how you doing, though? Yeah, well, you know. Check this out, man. Where my shout outs at? I know I had some shout outs over here. All right, look. Jessica Cooper. Jessica Cooper came through and said, poor Kanye. He's the most misunderstood person alive. Yeah, him and Donald Trump. Who?
Corporations versus pedophile versus the P's to be closer to what the Moors laid down for us in the past.
Who said, after the deductions of lawsuits, allegations, lawyer fees, and child support, Kanye will be back to dating black women. I said, damn, that's a powerful statement. I hope what who is wrong. You know what I'm saying?
Man, what people don't realize is beyond the state laws and all that, we have the Geneva Convention. And in the Geneva Convention and the rules of engagement, there are certain things that cannot be done. You know, when you're at war, there's certain things that cannot be done, and where you don't break the rules of war. They've been breaking all kind of rules of war here, but instead of addressing it as a Geneva Convention issue, it's addressed as a state statute or ordinance and all that kind of stuff.
Carolyn Ross said, all I know is, Carolyn Ross said, all I know is I love your commentary. You make all the stories interesting. Do I know? Do we? Yeah, it's that. I don't feel like it's very interesting now because I don't feel very well. And lastly, Malik Odin. Malik Odin came through and said, listen, Charlamagne and Ebro, they both sellouts. Hope you hold up, Celeb Source. You seem like you're getting a little shaky on the truth. I guess all those scriptures you be reading, you never received revelation knowledge on the fact of who you are, bro. Pray your eyes are open to who we are as a people. It's in the scriptures. Now, I'm wondering if this dude is leaning on the, we're the true Jews thing. Listen, let me tell you what the scriptures say about the Jews, all right? It says, you're not a true Jew just because you were born of Jewish parents. Or because you have gone through the ceremony of circumcision. In other words, you're not a true Jew by blood, and you're not a true Jew by tradition. You know what I'm saying? The scriptures say a true Jew is one whose heart is right with God. And true circumcision is not merely obeying the letter of the law. It is a change of heart produced by the Spirit. And a person with a changed heart seeks praise from God, not from people. You see what I'm saying? So if you're saying we true Jews because, we follow the law of God, okay, then I'm with you. If you're not saying that, if you think you're a true Jew just off of what is it, blood, well then you're wrong, bro. You know what I'm saying? According to the scriptures, you're wrong. Let's get right back to it. Wrap this bad boy up. You know what I'm saying? We report.
That's the thing about scripture. It's been so tainted and diluted and things of that nature. It's like, which way is up?
Reported to you last week that the artist Quavo had a line on the song "Messy," which read, "quote
We don't want to hear about Quavo now, but Kanye, stand with you, boy. I see the big picture. I see it. It's clear and it's evident. Like my man Celeb Source say, I just gotta see how this shit gonna play out. Shout out. Shout out to Bojack.